So it also begs the question, what happens with the vast accessibility of this drug? So in my line of work in with the energetic and understanding of people's emotional and physical behavior and all of those pieces, I ultimately go to the root cause of it. And we pull out the root of the issue rather than keep trimming back the branches of this tree that keeps, or this weed that keeps growing. Isn't that a bigger conversation to be had?
100%. And that is what we need to be doing as as a culture, as a society, is the figuring out the root cause, like you said, because right now we're just trimming the branches, right?
Yeah.
We're not having conversations about mental illness and trauma. And we know that, especially young people, that a lot of them turn to drugs or alcohol as a coping mechanism.
Yep.
Some, are just experimenting, or maybe they're bored, or maybe they're just, peer pressure. But many of them are turning to drugs or alcohol as a coping mechanism for trauma, physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse.
Right.
And I agree. That is a topic that I talk about, especially with the older folks, or the adults in the room.
Mhm.
Is Those are things we need to address as the root cause. And it's kind of like the solution for, or the you know helping people who struggle with addiction. Medicated assisted treatment. It's not just the medicine. The medicine is just to help you wean off the physical drug. Why we call it medicated assisted treatment is we need to figure out what's the cognitive therapy, what's the
Right.
behavior, how do we prevent you from even wanting the drug, right?
That's right. Yes.
So I wholeheartedly agree that that needs to be a national conversation. If we're going to reduce demand in this country for drugs, we need to go after the root problems. And
Hmm.
people always ask me questions like, what do I think about safe drug sites and this and that and this and that. And to me,
Right.
unfortunately, we have a limited amount of resources that the various stakeholders, politicians, et cetera, are throwing towards this problem.
Yep.
Sadly, I wish they would throw more at it, but they don't.
Right.
So with the limited amount of resources we have, let's get to the root. And the root, unfortunately, is going to be the mental illness, the trauma, the things like that. And unfortunately, those are all discussions that we're really not having too much in this country.